Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope you're all doing well. Normal schedule has resumed. Your preview will do a live a little bit later on today as well. We're locked in, we're loaded, and Leeds United need to be locked in and loaded for Friday night's game, tomorrow night's game against West Ham at Elland Road under the lights. Look, West Ham, they're not going great. They're not doing well this season, and we have the antidote to inject them with some more pain. We have to. Yes, they travel better than they play at the London Stadium, but Leeds must win this game after a poor showing against Burnley last time out. In effect, you've got two teams struggling towards the wrong end of the Premier League table. We will lock horns at Elland Road on Friday evening, and we will host the Hammers. A Hammers team, a Hammers crowd, a Hammers club that is in turmoil right now. It was only just on Monday they were doing protests. There were plenty empty seats at the London Stadium. Of course, I fully expect them to bring a full crowd because West Ham travel well. They are a well-supported club, but it's a club that ain't happy. And if we can infect a goal early doors, then we're laughing. Of course, we have 8 points. We're trending really where we need to be. This is where we're supposed to be. Same can't be said for Hammers, but for us, 8 league matches, 8 points. If you get a point a game, we get 38 points, we stay up. Of course, we want to be winning games. We don't want to be drawing. We don't want to be losing. It is what it is. But this is where we're supposed to be, I believe. Look, we're 16th in the table, but the Irons, they're 19th. They've only picked up 4 points from their first 8 games. They are in a world of pain. But before we talk about the Hammers, let's talk about, of course, the greatest club in the land, Leeds United. Leeds, in recent times, have only managed to find the back of the net on 7 occasions in the Premier League this term. That's less than a goal a game. And our lack of goals is obviously concerning. We have the poorest big chance conversion rate in the division. Again, I put this down to the personnel. It's not the manager. We're creating chances hand over fist. We just can't find the back of the net. Please, inshallah, we can have, alhamdulillah, Okafor. We can have James Nonto available for this game. Because ultimately what's happening is because we're not finding the back of the net, there's loads of pressure being put on the back line early on in the campaign. And people are looking at the back line and saying, that's where the issues lie. But if we're being totally honest, Burnley had next to no chances. And because we couldn't finish our dinner, they finished theirs. And, we're on the back end of a 2-0 defeat. It's not great. To be honest, we've only claimed a point from our last 3 matches in the top flight, Spurs, Burnley, and, of course, Bournemouth. But you could argue we were better in all 3 games. And again, therein lies the problem. We need to start scoring goals. We need to start finishing our dinner. Our last win came just over a month ago now. We knew this would happen in the Premier League. That was a 3-1 win against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And our only home win came on that first night, which I believe was Friday night, or was it Monday night? It was a night game when we beat Everton 1-0 as well with a dubious penalty. So we need to start seeing, becoming 3-point collectors. It has to happen. Now, as for West Ham, I watched them on Monday. They were absolutely terrible. Nuno's come in, and nothing much has changed yet. It took him a while to get Forest going. I do believe he will get West Ham going. You just hope that the gaps may be a little bit too big for him to catch us. But they're struggling big time. They've been beaten in their first 4 home matches of a season for the first time in their history. That tells you how bad it was, how bad it is at their football club. And they've posted 2 victories at the London Stadium all year. There's a little part of me after Lawless said it just on Tuesday, we'd be better playing there, but we know our record in London. We back ourselves at home, so it doesn't matter which West Ham, if it's home or away, we are going to win this game. We have to win this game. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, there were thousands of empty seats at the London Stadium on Monday as they had a protest against the club's board. It's not going well. An early goal for Leeds United would be perfect. But they will travel in their numbers and they'll be demanding a response from their players because they have had a shocking start to the season. Listen, when I picked early pre-season predictions for relegation, West Ham weren't even in the conversation. Genuinely, I thought pre-season Potter, it'd go well. They've sacked Potter, they've brought in Nuno, and he hasn't got off to a good start either. It's been a difficult start to the season. They've picked up just 4 points from 8 games. They're in 19th spot. What's quite sobering, what's quite nice is the fact that the 3 teams in the relegation zone right now are none of the newly promoted sides. This is good. They have already suffered 6 defeats this campaign. You're laughing. So Leeds United have to hope that we're on it. Well, how can we get something from this game. Well, we need some players back. I can't lie to you. I thought Harrison and Aronson would be enough for Burnley. It turns out it wasn't. Now, there will be some late calls going into this game when it comes to our starting 11. A number of players uncertain. Ampadu and Strike were struggling with illness, so couldn't train. I think they'll make it through, although I do think Strouk will be riding bench for this one. Nonto and Okafor remain doubts after their injury, but the manager did say Noah is more likely. James obviously played in the last game, so he came off the bench. He must be ready for a start now. And we know Calvert-Lewin will continue to lead the line. So in terms of my 11 for this game, I think it'll be Perry in goal. There's one change. Bogle, Rodon, and then Biol, another change. Goodmanson. Then in midfield, we should have Ampadu, Longstaff. Tanaka needs to come in for Stack. Stack's performance against Burnley was absolutely diabolical. I can't get on board with a guy who's, putting Pokemon pictures online and then failing to run after balls that are 5 yards away from him and giving it up. Nah, I don't care how good you are, mate. That's not going to fly with me. So you can stick your Instagram post where the sun don't shine until you start fucking performing on the pitch. And that's facts. Then on the right, I want Dan James. He's ready to start now. Please, Dan James, we need to see the old Dan James back. Okafor on the left and Calvert-Lewin through the middle. It is much better as I read that out to you. I know it is. You're going, actually, yeah, that's not a bad side. We can get something against West Ham, especially against this West Ham defence. Now, Mavropanos, arguably, is their best defender. He's ruled out of this match, yeah? He's ruled out. He suffered an injury in the last stage of the contest with Brentford. So you're looking at Tadibo and Kilman. They're not great. The defence is terrible. Fulcrook and Earthy are also on the sidelines. What will Nuno pick? Who knows? Because he had a right back at left back, a left back at right back. He had Irving coming in, who the West Ham fans were like, what's going on here, bruh? So we don't know what team he will pick, but I imagine it's Malik Diouf at left back, Wan-Bissaka right back, Tadibo and Kilman. We can get that back four. Trust me. Souček's in line to make his 200th Premier League appearance. Again, that was another head scratcher for West Ham fans. They were like, what's he doing back here? We know where their powers come from. It's Paqueta, Ampadu, Reducer, early doors. It's Bowman. Just try your best. Try your best, Goodmanson. And of course, it's Somerville, who will have a point to prove. He's a top player, like him. No ill feeling. I just hope he has a poor game. In terms of how the game's going to go, I do think Leeds United will win. We've lost one of our 4 home league matches this campaign. Least we can expect is a draw, but I do think we'll get all 3. Our record at Ellen Road spanning back last season is also great. Of course, West Ham have enjoyed themselves more on their travels. They got a 3-0 win against Forest, if you remember, a couple of weeks back. So you could argue, on the face of it, it could go either way, but there's going to be tension in both sides. It is going to be a tight match. I don't think the points are going to be shared, though. I think Leeds United are going to come away with all 3. I think with the Ellen Road crowd, with that poor performance in the head of the players, with West Ham in turmoil, we have enough to see this game out. And I actually think Leeds United are going to win 2-0. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on that preview. Give me a shout. Let me know. Will changes be made? Should they be made? I think they should. Thanks as always for watching. That was your Leeds versus West Ham preview. We'll do a live one a little bit later on, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out. Leeds!